The Nielsen ratings never mentioned alien viewers. That was the first thought that crossed media analytics director Sarah Chen's mind as she stared at the impossible data streaming across her holographic display. The second thought was that she needed a drink. "Run the verification protocols again," she ordered her AI assistant, knowing it would yield the same results. Somewhere out there, beyond Earth's atmosphere, beyond even the solar system, quadrillions of beings were watching humanity's every move. Not just watching, paying for it. The message had arrived 3 hours ago, transmitted simultaneously to every major broadcasting network on Earth. The Galactic Entertainment Consortium, as they called themselves, had been rebroadcasting Earth's entire media output and daily life across 17,000 civilized worlds for the past century. They claimed Earth produced the most compelling, unscripted content in the known universe. Now they wanted to negotiate terms. Sarah's security clearance had skyrocketed within minutes of the transmission. As humanity's foremost expert on audience engagement metrics, she found herself drafted into a hastily assembled first contact team. The United Earth government needed to understand exactly what they were dealing with. "Director Chen," General Miranda Hayes' voice cut through her thoughts. "The consortium representatives will be arriving in 20 minutes. We need your preliminary analysis." Sarah gestured, expanding the data visualization that dominated the secure conference room. "They're not lying about the viewership numbers. The mathematical patterns are consistent with organic audience behavior across multiple species and cultural contexts. Earth isn't just popular entertainment for them. We're the most watched show in the galaxy." "Show?" The general's face darkened. "We're talking about the private lives of 8 billion people. That's exactly why we're so fascinating to them." Sarah highlighted a cluster of data points. Most advanced civilizations become predictable as they develop. Their societies stabilize. Their behavior becomes more uniform. But humans, we're chaos incarnate. Every human life is a story that could go in any direction at any moment. The room fell silent as the implications sank in. Humanity's cherished free will, their capacity for endless variety and innovation, had turned them into unwitting celebrities across the cosmos. "The real question," Sarah continued, "is why they're choosing to reveal themselves now. They've had a century of profitable broadcasting without our knowledge or consent. Something's changed." The answer arrived precisely on schedule, in the form of a shimmering portal that opened in the center of the conference room. The alien delegation that stepped through looked nothing like the classical gray aliens of human fiction. Instead, they appeared as shifting columns of iridescent light, their forms barely constrained by what seemed to be expensive designer containment suits. Their translator spoke first, its melodic tones carrying an unmistakable note of urgency. "Greetings, valuable content creators. We regret to inform you that a competing entertainment consortium has emerged. They're claiming Earth exists within their broadcasting jurisdiction." Sarah felt her analyst's mind kick into high gear. "And this competing consortium, they're more powerful than you." "Significantly," the translator confirmed. "Without Earth's agreement to an exclusive contract with us, they will simply take over the broadcasting rights. Their methods of content acquisition are less considerate of the performer's well-being." General Hayes stepped forward, her military bearing unchanging even in the face of this surreal situation. "Are you suggesting Earth needs your protection? We are suggesting a mutually beneficial arrangement." The aliens' lights pulsed in what might have been amusement. "You see, there's a loophole in galactic entertainment law. If a species is aware they're being broadcast and actively participates in content creation, they gain certain rights." Sarah couldn't help but laugh. The absurdity of it all suddenly crystallized into perfect clarity. "You want to turn Earth from an unauthorized reality show into an official production, with us as willing participants." "Precisely." The translator's form brightened. "And as official content creators, you would be entitled to compensation. 100 years of back pay, plus ongoing revenue sharing. The numbers, I assure you, are astronomical. And if we refuse, General Hayes asked, though Sarah suspected she already knew the answer. Then the competing consortium takes over, and Earth becomes, shall we say, a very different kind of programming. Sarah looked at the data streams again, her mind racing. In them, she saw not just numbers, but opportunity. Humanity had been entertaining the galaxy without even trying. What could they do if they actually put their minds to it? She turned to General Hayes. "Ma'am, I have an idea, but you're going to need to give me full creative control." The general raised an eyebrow. "We're facing a potential hostile takeover by alien entertainment moguls, and you want to talk about creative control?" "Yes," Sarah smiled, "because we're about to give the galaxy the greatest show they've ever seen. And this time, we're writing the script." Sarah Chen stood before the United Earth Council, her presentation already causing murmurs among the assembled representatives. Behind her, a holographic display showed real-time viewer metrics from across the galaxy, numbers so large they defied human comprehension. "Ladies and gentlemen," she continued, "we've spent the last week thinking about this as a crisis. I'm here to tell you it's the greatest opportunity humanity has ever encountered." The council chamber's smooth walls reflected the changing colors of her display as she brought up new data. "The Galactic Entertainment Consortium has given us access to their viewer analytics. Do you know what happens to their ratings whenever humans face a crisis? They spike dramatically." She highlighted a particular graph. This was during the Mars colony crisis of 2157, when our first colonial habitat suffered catastrophic failure. Viewers across 17,000 worlds watched humanity do what we do best: improvise, adapt, and overcome. We didn't just save the colony. We apparently delivered what the GEC calls premium entertainment content. Council President Rodriguez leaned forward. "Director Chen, are you suggesting we deliberately manufacture crises for alien entertainment?" "No, Mr. President. I'm suggesting we do something far more ambitious." Sarah's smile widened. "I'm suggesting we teach the galaxy why human entertainment is the best in the universe." She gestured, and the display shifted to show hundreds of human television formats: movies, sports, and games. Every form of entertainment humanity has ever created was made for human audiences. Yet somehow, we've become the most watched species in the galaxy. Imagine what we could do if we actually tried to entertain them. The competing consortium's ultimatum had given them 3 months to decide. Sarah intended to use every second of it. "Phase 1 has already begun," she announced. "We've started broadcasting human game shows with alien contestants. The GEC said it couldn't be done, claimed different species couldn't compete fairly. We proved them wrong by creating new game formats that test universal skills like problem-solving and adaptation. The ratings are astronomical." The display showed footage from Galactic Challenge, where representatives from different species had to work together to solve increasingly complex puzzles. The twist? The puzzles were based on human children's toys. "We're not just entertaining them," Sarah continued. "We're teaching them how humans think, how we solve problems, how we turn anything, even crisis and competition, into collaboration and growth." A council member raised her hand. "And the competing consortium, the one that threatened to take over our broadcasting rights. That's where Phase 2 comes in." Sarah's expression turned serious. "We've been analyzing their previous broadcast takeovers. Every time, they follow the same pattern. Turn the target world into a violent spectacle. Think reality shows with real casualties. They believe conflict and suffering make the best entertainment." She paused, letting that sink in. "But we've got something better. Something they've never seen before. We call it Project Storyline." The holographic display shifted again, showing a massive web of interconnected narratives. Humanity's greatest strength isn't our technology or our military might. It's our ability to tell stories, to imagine possibilities and make them real. We're going to turn Earth into the galaxy's first interactive narrative experience." President Rodriguez looked skeptical. "What exactly does that mean?" It means we're going to tell a story so big, so compelling, that every species in the galaxy will want to be part of it. We're combining real events with scripted elements, interactive experiences with actual technological development. Every human will be both actor and audience, and every alien viewer will have a chance to influence the story. The display showed prototype interfaces where alien viewers could vote on Earth's technological research directions, invest in human creative projects, and even suggest solutions to real engineering challenges. The competing consortium wants to turn Earth into a gladiatorial arena, Sarah said. We're going to turn the galaxy into a writer's room instead. And the story we're going to tell together. It's about how humanity transforms from an accidental entertainment sensation into a species that brings creativity and joy to every corner of the cosmos. She could see understanding dawning on the council members' faces. This wasn't just about protecting Earth or making money. This was about changing the very nature of galactic society through the power of human imagination. The best part. Sarah's smile returned. The show has already begun. This council meeting is being broadcast live across the galaxy, and our viewers? They're absolutely loving it. As if on cue, the viewer metrics spiked again. 17,000 worlds watched as humanity prepared to do what they did best, turn an impossible situation into something no one had ever seen before. The greatest show in the galaxy was about to begin its second season, and this time, humanity was running the network. The holographic performers on Sarah Chen's desk were fighting again. Two luminous alien beings, their containment suits crackling with agitation, faced off across her project timeline. The Centaurian storyline cannot intersect with the Europan development arc. The representative from the Galactic Entertainment Consortium flared bright orange with frustration. The narrative complexity would overwhelm our viewers. The other figure, a producer from Alpha Centauri's leading entertainment network, pulsed defiantly. Your viewers, perhaps. Our audience demographics show increasing engagement with multi-threaded human narratives. We're prepared to bid 3 trillion credits for exclusive rights to the crossover event. Sarah let them argue, hiding her smile behind her coffee cup. Project Storyline was working better than she'd ever imagined. In just 6 weeks, Earth had transformed from passive entertainment into the galaxy's most sophisticated interactive media empire, the competing consortium that had threatened Earth. They'd made their move last week, attempting to hijack Earth's broadcast signals. Instead of finding a helpless planet ripe for exploitation, they'd encountered something unprecedented, a story so engaging, so intricate, that their own viewers had revolted at the thought of it being interrupted. Her neural implant pinged, displaying the latest metrics. The Choose Earth's Next Innovation public voting channel had just broken another record. Alien viewers from 90 different species were passionately debating whether humanity should focus on developing stable micro-wormhole technology or perfect their quantum consciousness transfer research. The best part, both technologies were already in development. Humanity was simply letting the galaxy help decide which one they'd finish first. Director Chen, her AI assistant, materialized. The Mars colony is ready for today's broadcast. Sarah dismissed the arguing alien producers with a gesture. Show me. The feed from Mars filled her office. What the galaxy saw was a thrilling race against time as human colonists battled the harsh Martian environment to establish the first permanent dome city. What they didn't see were the dozens of backup systems, the careful choreography of seeming chaos, the way every crisis was actually a carefully planned demonstration of human ingenuity. Ratings? She asked, though she already knew the answer. Up 300% from last week. The betting pools on whether Project Phoenix will succeed have reached quadrillion credit levels. Several alien civilizations have offered to share their atmospheric manipulation technology just to help move the plot along. Sarah nodded. That was the true genius of Project Storyline. Every challenge humanity faced became content. Every solution they developed became a plot point, and their audience wasn't just watching. They were investing, literally and figuratively, in humanity's success. Her desk chimed with an urgent alert. A live feed appeared, showing an emergency meeting of the Galactic Council. The competing consortium was making its case, claiming Earth's new entertainment format violated ancient broadcasting laws. Their representative, a beam of sharp angles and harsh red light, was furious. They've turned the entire galaxy into their production staff. This goes beyond entertainment. They're manipulating civilizations thousands of years more advanced than themselves. The Council's Chief Justice, a shimming cloud of mural mist, responded with what Sarah swore was amusement. Manipulation. My analysis suggests mutual beneficial collaboration. Humanity has created something unprecedented, a form of entertainment that actively improves its audience. Sarah watched as data streamed across her display. Since Project Storyline began, technological and cultural exchange between alien civilizations had increased by 500%. Species that had never communicated were now collaborating on solutions to share with Earth. The galaxy's greatest minds were voluntarily becoming part of humanity's writer's room. Her neural implant flagged another incoming transmission. This one made her sit up straight. The message was from a civilization so advanced they transcended physical form millennia ago. They'd never shown interest in primitive entertainment before. Now they wanted to talk about commissioning a special series, something about humanity helping them remember what it was like to dream. Sarah opened a secure channel to General Hayes. "Ma'am, I think we need to update our definition of defense technology. It turns out imagination might be humanity's most powerful weapon." The general's response was immediate. The competing consortium. They just became irrelevant. Sarah brought up the latest viewer metrics. "We're not just winning the ratings war anymore. We're changing how the galaxy thinks about entertainment, about collaboration, about progress itself." She paused, watching as another alien civilization joined the Earth Creative Exchange Program. "They wanted to turn us into a violent spectacle. Instead, we've turned the galaxy into the greatest cooperative story ever told. And we're just getting to the good part." The alert chimed again. Somewhere in the Andromeda Galaxy, a civilization that had been stagnant for 10,000 years had just rediscovered its capacity for wonder. They were crediting their favorite human show. The quantum-encrypted message that arrived at Sarah Chen's office couldn't have come from a more unexpected source: the competing consortium itself. Their representatives, once so threatening, were now requesting an urgent private meeting. The reason? Their own audience was staging a revolt. Sarah sat in her office aboard Storyline Station, Earth's newly constructed orbital headquarters for galactic media operations. Through the quantum glass windows, she could see Earth below, its night side glittering with lights that now pulsed in patterns designed to delight viewers across the cosmos. "Show them in," she told her AI assistant, "and activate the diplomacy protocols." The consortium representatives materialized, not as their usual intimidating forms of harsh light and sharp angles, but as diminished, flickering shapes. Their translator spoke first, its tone carrying an unfamiliar note: desperation. "Director Chen, we need your help. Our traditional content markets are collapsing. Viewers across our territories are demanding human-style entertainment. They're rejecting our traditional formats of conflict and dominance. Some are even attempting to create their own interactive narratives." Sarah leaned back in her chair, remembering their threats from just months ago. "Isn't this exactly what you wanted to prevent? Cultural contamination from Earth." "We were wrong," the translator admitted. "We didn't understand. We thought entertainment was about power, about controlling the narrative. You've shown us it's about connection, about growth. Our own civilizations are evolving in ways we never imagined, and we don't know how to adapt." Before Sarah could respond, her neural implant flagged an urgent alert. The feed from the Galactic Council chambers showed chaos. Ancient power structures were buckling under the weight of cultural change. Species that had been locked in millennia-old conflicts were now collaborating on shared storylines. Civilizations were reorganizing themselves around creative exchanges rather than military might. Your content isn't just entertainment anymore, the consortium representative continued. It's becoming a new form of governance. The stories you're telling are reshaping how entire species think about themselves and their place in the cosmos. Sarah pulled up the latest metrics. The representative was right. Project Storyline had evolved far beyond its original scope. Humanity's approach to narrative and creativity was becoming a framework for galactic cooperation. Their interactive storytelling formats were being adapted into diplomatic protocols. Their writers' room techniques were being used to solve centuries-old conflicts. We're offering you control, the consortium representative said. Full control of our broadcasting networks, our production facilities, everything. In exchange, we want you to teach us. Help us understand how you do this. Sarah studied them carefully. You do realize that if we accept, we'll open your networks to the same kind of transformative content that's disrupting your traditional power base. We know, but we've seen enough to understand that resistance is futile. The translator's tone carried a hint of irony. That's a reference to one of your old entertainment properties, by the way. We've been studying your archives. A smile tugged at Sarah's lips. The galaxy's most powerful entertainment conglomerate had just quoted Star Trek while surrendering to humanity. The ratings would be astronomical. She opened a channel to the United Earth Council. Madam President, I believe we're about to acquire some new assets. More importantly, we've just gained confirmation of something we've suspected. Project Storyline has become more than entertainment. It's becoming the foundation of a new galactic order. The President's response was immediate. Are we ready for that kind of responsibility? Sarah looked out at Earth again, watching as another pulse of light patterns played across its surface, patterns that were simultaneously entertaining billions and teaching them new ways to think about the universe. Humanity has always been ready, she replied. We've been practicing for this our entire history. Every story we've ever told, every game we've ever played, every creative solution we've ever devised. It was all preparation for this moment. She turned back to the consortium representatives. We accept your offer, with one condition. You join us not as students, but as collaborators. The story we're telling is big enough for everyone. The representative's forms brightened slightly. And what story is that? The greatest one of all. Sarah smiled. The story of how entertainment saved the galaxy. Her neural implant pinged again. Across the cosmos, quadrillions of beings had just tuned in to watch this historic moment. The ratings were, predictably, off the charts. But more importantly, they were about to begin the next episode in humanity's greatest production. The peaceful transformation of galactic civilization through the power of shared stories. The competing consortium had wanted to turn Earth into a gladiatorial arena. Instead, humanity had turned the galaxy into the universe's biggest writer's room. And the story they were all writing together. It was just getting started. 1 year after Earth's entertainment revolution began, Sarah Chen stood before the newly formed Galactic Creative Assembly, an organization that would have been unthinkable just months ago. The vast chamber, constructed in neutral space, hosted representatives from over 20,000 civilizations, former enemies and rivals, now united by something more powerful than military might or economic dominance, the shared experience of story. The holographic displays surrounding the chamber showed real-time feeds from across the galaxy. On countless worlds, beings of all forms gathered to witness this historic session. Earth's viewership metrics had long since broken every known scale, but numbers had ceased to be the point. They were measuring impact now in transformed civilizations, in ancient conflicts resolved through collaborative narratives, in technological breakthroughs sparked by cross-species writers' rooms. A year ago, Sarah began, humanity learned we were unwitting entertainment for the galaxy. Today, we gather to formally recognize what we've become instead. Architects of a new way for civilizations to grow together. The chamber's quantum crystals hummed with translation fields, carrying her words to every species in their native forms of communication. Even the energy beings from the galactic core, who had once considered physical reality beneath their notice, had sent representatives. Project Storyline was never just about entertainment, she continued. It was about proving that imagination, creativity, and collaborative storytelling could be more than diversions. They could be the foundation of a new kind of civilization. Behind her, the displays showed footage from the past year, the first interspecies writers' room, where former enemies crafted shared narratives of reconciliation, the massive cooperative engineering projects that had begun as plot points in human shows, the emergence of new art forms that blended the creative traditions of dozens of species, the competing consortium that once threatened Earth. Sarah gestured to where their representatives now sat, their forms radiating collaborative energy rather than dominance. They've become our partners in the galaxy's greatest production, the story of how we all learn to grow together. Her neural implant pinged with a priority alert, right on schedule. She smiled as she delivered the next line. And speaking of growing together, I'm pleased to announce that the transcendent entities of the Andromeda Galaxy have just voted to join our assembly. They say our creative formats have helped them rediscover something they thought they'd evolved beyond. The joy of uncertainty, the thrill of not knowing what happens next in a story. The chamber erupted in its 100 different forms of appreciation: light pulses, harmonic resonances, quantum fluctuations, and even some good old-fashioned applause from the more physically manifested species. But our greatest achievement isn't in our viewership numbers, or even in the conflicts we've helped resolve. It's in what we've created together. A galaxy where every species' story matters, where creativity and collaboration drive progress, where entertainment isn't just a distraction but a path to understanding each other. Sarah activated the chamber's full holographic capability, surrounding the assembly with a real-time visualization of the galaxy. Threads of light connected different star systems, representing the flow of stories, ideas, and collaborative projects between civilizations. A year ago, Earth was just a show. Today, we're all co-creators in something unprecedented. A galactic civilization built on shared stories and collective imagination. The competing consortium wanted to turn us into a spectacle of conflict. Instead, we've turned the galaxy into something better. A never-ending story that we're all writing together. She paused, watching as new connections formed between civilizations in real time, each one representing another collaborative project, another shared narrative, another bridge between species that had once thought themselves too different to communicate. And this is just the beginning. Because if there's one thing humans know about stories, it's that there's always room for another chapter, always space for a new voice, always possibility for a plot twist that changes everything. The final display activated, showing Earth as it now appeared, a shining beacon of creativity, its cities and orbital stations pulsing with light patterns that told stories visible from light years away. But more impressive were the streams of data flowing to and from the planet. Stories, ideas, and dreams being shared across the cosmos. So let the record show that on this day, we formally established the Galactic Creative Assembly, not just as an entertainment network, but as a new framework for civilization itself. Because in the end, we discovered something profound. The most powerful force in the universe isn't gravity or electromagnetism, or even the strong nuclear force. Sarah smiled as she delivered the final lines of this chapter in humanity's greatest story. Its narrative. The ability to imagine something better and then make it real. The power to take different voices, different perspectives, different dreams, and weave them into something greater than their parts. We are all characters in this story, but we're also its authors. And together, we're writing the future we want to see. As she concluded, the approval metrics from across the galaxy broke their final records. But Sarah wasn't watching the numbers anymore. She was watching the new connections forming between civilizations, each one a story waiting to be told, each one a testament to humanity's greatest gift to the galaxy, the understanding that entertainment could be more than escape. It could be the key to bringing the universe together, one story at a time.